I believe that until proven guilty, every man, woman, and child in this country is innocent.
Now it's left to me to deal with him. You can't. If you try to interfere, this becomes a much simpler matter. I will kill your wife. I will kill your son. I will kill your infant daughter.
But for now, we're going to look at a slightly different system that doesn't just affect the moment of death, but the moments before death. Something that makes combat more grounded, horror more horrifying, and sacrifices all the more heroic. Picture a movie fight scene between a hero and villain. They're clashing blades, dancing back and forth, parrying, dodging, blocking, keeping up with each other's advances, surprising each other with new techniques and strategies, until finally, one of them lands a devastating blow. It's not just a graze on the arm, it's not just
Hi there, everybody. Welcome to Roll with Advantage. Welcome back to the Tales of Evrand. And look at that, everybody. Look, Evrand. Look at all these beautiful people. Isn't that a song? I don't know. Let's roll the intro.
Beautiful, beautiful.
I'd like to welcome you to the world of Evrand.
The Seekers of Insanity.
I told you to leave me alone. I could do this.
I wanted us to live and I wanted him dead.
I am so happy to see you.
Every party needs a pooper.
Raise the blade!
John, are you having fun? And we're back. Take it away, John.
Welcome back. Oh, okay. Welcome back to the Tales of Evrand, Book 8, Chapter 10. Actually, this should be Book 9, Chapter 1.
Oh, shit. Oh,
Leveled up last
shit.
That does make sense.
It is kind of funny to call a chapter 10 New Beginnings. So I guess that makes sense.
It's been updated.
It's like
shit.
an epilogue, you know?
Or
like
Session 87. We're getting closer to the 100. That's when we...
What?
By the way, I'm not going to end the campaign until we get to 100 episodes. So.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll keep
Totally
missing.
makes sense.
Yep. Yep.
We'll do a bunch of one-shots in between.
Yep. As is tradition here on Roll with Advantage, we do summaries, and I don't do summaries. Well, in Evrand, Joe just does summaries. So, Joe, take it away.
You got it. Okay. Get my readers on here. It's the same glasses. Okay. Okay. Tales of Evrand, Book 8, Chapter 9, Dark Side of the Moon. We faced off against the Demogorgon in a battle that was nothing short of grueling. The fight pushed us to our limits, with many of us narrowly escaping death, but tragically, one of us was not so fortunate. In the midst of the chaos, Yrsa managed to deliver the heart of the moon to Lady Gemcloak, allowing them to reunite. She then used plane shift to transport them to the safety of the material plane, ensuring their survival, nothing short of main character energy. After Yrsa's teleportation, Enid was struck dead by the Demogorgon, and after her death, Araleth followed shortly after. Amidst the hair-raising escape, Rian, with Basil in tow, made a dash for Gak so they could flee through the port glass. But the Demogorgon, driven by fury and not content with just one casualty, targeted Gideon next. Before Gideon could make his way to the port glass, the Demogorgon paralyzed him, thwarting his escape. Turning his wrath towards the portal, the Demogorgon cast Feeble Mind at Gak in an attempt to close the portal. Quick thinking, Rian caught the port glass, keeping the portal open just in time. Rian, Basil, and Yrsa coordinated their efforts to ensure Gideon's escape. Basil's plea for divine intervention went unanswered, prompting Rian to channel his holy power into Yrsa's staff, recharging its magic. Yrsa then used the staff to cast Vortex Warp, successfully bringing Gideon to safety. In a climactic conclusion to the battle, Gideon broke free of the paralysis and cast Vortex Warp on Enid's corpse, bringing it to safety as the portal closed behind us, leaving the Demogorgon behind. Back in safety, Basil cast Revivify on Enid, tearfully urging her to stay so they could find happiness together. Enid, in a liminal moment, spoke with the Raven Queen, goddess of death, choosing life and joy. She returned to the living, greeted by the love and relief of her friends. Our attention then turned to what once was Lady Gemcloak, and who now stood before us as the goddess of the moon, Sahanin. She expressed her gratitude for our actions and bestowed a boon upon each of us as a token of her thanks. She vowed to safeguard the Divine Gate, reinforce it, and hold the Moon Court accountable for their actions. With Sahanin's blessing, Enid shared a heartfelt farewell with her other half, Aerolith. In recognition of our valor, Sahanin granted us unique gifts. Rian received the boon of the Moonlight Guardian, Gideon the boon of Starfire, Yrsa the boon of Nature's Embrace, Enid the boon of Shadow Strike, Gak the boon of Lunar Knowledge, and Basil the boon of Sahanin's Blessing. Together we rejoiced in our survival and ready to face whatever the Demogorgon was about to throw at us with newfound strength and divine favor. There you go.
That was a wonderful summary.
Oh my god, thank you.
So, diving back into the game, as Sahanin has left back to where she resides, the moon above, once blue, turns a hue purple. The ocean's tides rise, and the wind picks up gently. All of you feel this surge of arcane energy return back to the world. Yrsa, as a guardian, feel that divine gate slowly start to strengthen. There are no crackles in the sky of a closing of a gate, but you can tell that Sahanin's return is a turning point. Before you are a list of tasks, and you need to choose where to go next. But there are many hours left in this night. A respite from Demogorgon's wrath. You feel safe with the return of this goddess currently. As Enid is alive, all of you kind of taking it a little bit of a back foot, looking around to each other. And Enid, you feel this slight cold and a shiver through you. Like chills, and you feel goosebumps. Basil, you notice it first. Starting from the very tip of her hair, this change. White starts to creep up the hair all the way up to the roots. Enid, you can tell that this is maybe a side effect of a bonded leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And everyone can see new Enid art. Well, no, wait, not yet.
Yeah.
You can't see this. Delete. Don't look at it. She's got white hair now, though. My bad. Basil, you see Enid's hair turn stark white as she's standing next to you. Enid, you don't even notice it yourself.
Yeah. You see Basil looking over at you in surprise. Oh, Blossom, your hair. It's white.
Honestly, I don't even know what.
It's white.
She'll like look at the tips. Okay.
I mean, it looks beautiful. It glows in the moonlight.
Yeah, I'm sure fine. I'm sorry, my mind's so scattered right now.
No, I'm sorry. I know you just went through a lot.
We all did. So
Hair is the last thing to worry about.
yeah, she'll just kind of nod. But yeah, I know she's probably like John. She's kind of like taking in the fact that it's the broken bond and everything. So people can see that she maybe wants to say more, but she doesn't because she doesn't quite feel ready to like talk about it yet. So, but I guess how is everyone else doing right now? We're all still. This is like the aftermath of what just happened, right? Still, like Sahanin's gone, and we're all just staring at each other, like half dead.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say, Gideon's actually looking pretty okay. Just,
Nice biceps.
yeah. Thank you. But, which is rare for him. You know that Gideon gets in his own head a lot and he reflects a lot on a lot of things, but he actually seems rather okay. You just see that obviously he's looking at you with concern, knowing that you're obviously not doing okay right now.
Mm-hmm.
But he's trying not to push it since he doesn't know what you want to do right now.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe it would be best if we all just went inside and we got some rest. And maybe in the morning it would be better to talk about these things. When you're ready.
I agree. Sleep is a powerful tool, and I think we should all capitalize on it right now.
Yeah, I think that sounds good. Before, unless someone else has something else they want to do, Enid will ask Basil to like stay behind before everyone goes inside. But I don't know if anyone else had something before that.
I'm good.
I good.
I will say, Yursa, as you are kind of walking out and everyone's kind of walking in, something catches your eye off in the corner. You look over and you see in the courtyard there are many like almost raised bed gardens. And right now the weather currently isn't enough to start leaves falling and wilting. And you look over and you see some of the chrysanthemums that are planted. They just start to wilt and fall down.
Okay. Well, she kind of like hesitates for a moment then. And instead of going to her room, I think she's just gonna go for a walk instead.
Okay. So Yursa, you walk outside. Is anyone else doing anything before we go back to Yursa?
Oh, I was just gonna say, Gak doesn't go to his room. He goes to the kitchen and just tries to make some food.
Okay.
Little cutie.
You can see that cleaning up right now is one of the housekeepers that you've hired, and they look at you and say, "Oh, there's fresh food over there in the fridge." And you see it. You guys have this like ice box that it is a fridge, but you know, medieval.
Yeah. Gak just kind of smiles and nods and goes over and gets food.
Okay. All right. So, Yursa. As you walk outside, you can feel the wind blowing through your hair, now not covered by the walls of the keep. You can hear the ocean crashing against the waves crashing against the beach and the rocks below the cliffside. Where are you going?
I think she would go a little ways away from the keep. I feel like probably on like a valley, like on the hillside. I'm sure there's like a bunch of wildflowers that grow over there. Um, she kind of wants to go towards what's naturally growing, not so much like the gardens that her and Basil made, just like what's in the surrounding area. Just to like, if that's a trend that's happening, if that's the only plants that seem to be kind of doing something funny.
Yeah, I mean, on the hillside behind your keep, before the forest that kind of leads up the hill, there's like a plain of moon lilies currently right now that are full bloom, almost like sunflowers, all kind of turned towards this purple moon, and you can see all of these kind of starlight that they kind of create, and this glittering spores that they kind of release around. And as you kind of walk through, it's actually easy to make out. There are a couple in here that are wilted and dead because all of them are alight currently. The ones that are not are easy to pick out from the group.
Okay. She's gonna go over to one that's not and completely dead yet, and she's going to cast Speak with Plants. And she's going to kneel on the ground, just kind of very gingerly. It's like she's trying to pick up the petals. She knows she can't put them back, but she's just kind of picking them up and putting them next to the flower. And she's gonna say, I am so sorry to bother you, especially when you're not doing so well, but this doesn't make any sense. This is... Well, you're supposed to be in season. Oh, is there a sickness that is affecting you right now?
As you cast Speak with Plants and start to talk to the plant, you hear footsteps behind you. And you hear a voice.
The touch of the abyss corrupts all it reaches. Nature's lifeblood is draining from this world.
You turn around.
Yes.
As you turn around, you see a very tall woman with bright orange curly hair that kind of drapes down to the ground. A dress of flowers, green and verdance around, gold of eyes, and fair skin just looking at you, smiling.
She will immediately stand up and, I don't know, Yursa, to me, she would, like, go to hug her, but then, like, do, like, a quick, like, oh, I'm so sorry, bow, and then go to hug her again.
Sorry. As you do, she hugs you, and you feel this definite warm embrace. Like you've only really talked to Melora physically once or twice.
Yeah.
And never really given her a hug. It definitely feels like you're hugging a friend, someone you know. And she says, or she kind of looks past you after the hug and says,
There is no need to bow. We are equals.
Sorry, just... And she kind of looks over her shoulder at the flower. I guess I don't understand. This is Demogorgon. He has this powerful of a reach.
It seems the power of the abyss has been spilling into the prime material for some time. And it seems that my powers are waning.
Well, we have to do something. I mean, if this is just the start, who knows what could come from this, right? Is there something I can do to help?
she kind of tilts her head towards you.
My friend, you're already doing something. All of your friends, your companions. Stay the path. We feel the pain of this nature. You have the strength to mend it.
Okay. But if there is something that if there's more I could be doing, I will do it. Even the smallest, tiniest plant, I mean, it's all connected, right?
Yes. All nature is connected. You are doing what you need to, what you must. There is more to do, but you will know when the time comes.
Okay. I trust you and thank you. I'm sorry if I haven't reached out as much as I should have. I just with everything going on, I did not know if it was appropriate to try to make contact. I know that the gate is so weak as it is. But I will do better.
There is no need to do better or feel better, Yersa. And yes, the gate was weak, but thanks to all of you.
She looks very fondly at you and says,
To you, my sister returns.
That's right.
The gate
They're
is
related.
strong because of your action. You brought back her divine energy to this world, which was very much needed.
Well, I'm just happy that I could help, and it's important that Demogorgon is stopped. I can only imagine if he was successful in this. But yes, we will continue the path. But I will be on the lookout. If anything occurs that I can fix, I will do that.
I know. Thank
And
you.
Yrsa is going to druidcraft a flower next to the dying flower. I know she can't repopulate the world by just making trees constantly, but she'll make another one pop up.
Yersa, as you druid craft, as you go to druid craft another flower next to it, that flower that was dead does slowly raise back up and come back to life.
Yay! Okay, well, Yrsa, this entire time she has a very, like, pensive look on her face, but that does cause her to relax a little bit. A little at a time.
Keep the path.
I will.
And you see her kind of walk towards you and embrace you in for a hug and then say,
We will talk again later.
and in an instant you feel almost like a shower of flowers as she kind of disappears into flowers that kind of just fall down to the ground.
Thank you. And then she's just gonna sit on the ground and start druidcrafting as many flowers as she can. She's gonna, like, go throughout the entire field, and if she sees a dead one, she's gonna make a live one. And then she'll probably spend her night doing that.
Okay. I'd say you'd probably spend the next hour or so outside doing that. Okay. So as that happens, we move back inside to, I believe, Enid had something, correct?
She was still outside with Basil,
Oh, that's right.
actually.
That's right.
But yeah, so I think they just would go on a walk, probably down by the beach. Just kind of like maybe, I mean, unless Basil wanted to talk about anything before, I think it'd definitely be like just like quietly in each other's presence for a little bit.
Yeah, she would have stayed.
And then after like a little while of just like walking and thinking, Enid will like turn to her and say, I would like to try and pray, but I don't know how to start. To Sahanine. Could you
Yeah, I mean, I've
help?
never prayed to her, but we can do it together. And she'll grab Enid's hand and pull her to I don't know if there's like a nice spot with a tree that they could sit down and lean against, but something kind of out of a prying eye, I guess. And then she'll like pull Enid down with her and wrap an arm around her and kind of pull her in. So maybe I just have a different experience when it comes to praying, but I don't think there's necessarily a right or wrong way to go. I think it's all about intention. If you have a God that you want to talk to them. A big thing about praying too is you may not get a response that you want or a response at all. That's something that I've taken a long time to be okay with. But you can close your eyes or you can look around. I imagine it just kind of like you and me having a conversation. We put our hearts and soul into it, and if the other person truly wants to listen, then they will.
Okay. Yeah, and then I think Enid will like take one of Basil's hands in hers and like close her eyes and start a prayer in her head. I imagine like the moonlight is probably shining down like through the tree and everything, and so she'll just try and like, you know how you can feel like the light from the sun, and like moonlight's not as intense, you normally don't feel it. Well, I don't know as a moon elf if she like has like a sense that she's able to feel it a little bit easier than some, maybe a little bit more sensitive. So she will just like feel that moonlight shining down and try and do what Basil said, where it's just kind of like a reach out. So she's sending out an intention, saying kind of almost a repetition of what she just said to Sahanine, but like in more of a committing to worship of her kind of way. Like, I'm going to be giving my time, my attention, my life over to this connection and helping build up, because that's what Moon wanted to do. So she wants to follow that for her. Or Aeroleth wanted to do.
Okay. I would say, as you sit there, kind of looking up to the moon, embracing and kind of sending out these thoughts, you get a response. Basil, you notice that Enid's eyes kind of gloss over this starlight, this ethereal blue and purple, almost like the aurora borealis in her eyes. And stepping in front of you, Basil, is once again Sahanine, the goddess of the moon.
Hello, my child.
I think she would like look up, sitting from the ground. I think she would stand, but like, she's not a overly formal person as we've seen before, but she wants to honor this goddess, and so I think she'll kind of do like a like keeping her head low as she stands before her. But yeah, she'll like wait for what Sahanine has to say.
What is it that you require of me?
Nothing. You've already given so much, especially everything you're doing for Aeroleth and keeping her safe. I want to you were Erleth's mission for so long, and just because you're here doesn't mean her work's not over. And I think the best way I can do to honor her and to honor you is just to continue that work. There's a lot of healing that needs to happen, and the Demogorgon isn't gone. So this is me making a promise that even though I always had intentions of helping, this is more of a commitment to this healing journey that's needed for you, for Erleth, for, I guess, the healing Moon Court.
She looks to you and smiles and says,
You wish to devote yourself to the moon. Be one that upholds what we stand for.
I will try. I'm not known for... I don't have a long history of being reliable, but it's something I've been working on and plan to commit to.
she kind of stares at you from that response and kind of just... You see a very serious face of a goddess. And she stares towards you and says,
To worship the moon means many things. To uphold my tenet, my laws, means everything. If you want to devote yourself to me, then you may do so. But you must know what we stand for and what you will be upholding as law. Enid. If you are to become a cleric of the moon, possess my divine gifts, will you protect the innocent?
I will.
Will you preserve beauty in this world?
I will.
Do you accept the role to guide lost souls through the veil?
She'll look over to Basil and say, I will.
To fight against darkness?
I will.
To promote dreams and inspiration?
And then she thinks of Gideon in that and says, I will.
Do you, Enid, devote yourself to be my champion?
I think her eyebrows will raise, and then she'll actually look like the goddess in the eyes and say, I will.
Kneel.
She kneels.
and you see, as she kind of raises her hand, this sword of moonlight and steel just kind of apparates as she places it on your shoulder and places it on the other one. You feel this power kind of emanate around you. And also, I will say, Basil, this whole time Enid has been sitting with her eyes glossed over, but because you are the daughter of a god and you can see spirits, you see an ethereal version of Enid in front of you that's in front of her body, and you see the outline of the goddess of the moon in front of her as Enid is on the ground kneeled and she is knighting her.
And I can hear it all too, right?
Yeah, it sounds a lot more ethereal and but you can make out what's happening. Enid, as she finishes, you see the sword disappear, and you feel this, it's not a pain, but it is definitely this almost cold burning sensation, but it's not painful. You feel it on your back, one at a time, kind of these small spots kind of going up the back. And then eventually you feel this sensation on your forehead as a crescent shape starts to appear, bright white, and these kind of white lines around your nose and eyes. You feel it. You can't see it. Basil, you see this on Enid's actual body. You see this crescent shape. And now I can post the actual art of Enid. As Sahanin says,
Then rise, my champion. Rise, Enid, the first champion of the new age.
Oh.
The first cleric.
and rise, Enid.
Yeah. Yeah, she'll stand and she'll like smile up at Sahanin, nod once more, saying, I will do my best to honor our tenants. To honor you.
You see, you swear that in that moment, as Sahanin smiles, that you hear this voice that you've heard many times. And with that, your eyes come back. And Basil, you see, after hearing all of that, the first cleric of the new age and champion of Sahanin, Enid.
Basil will unfortunately not give Enid a second to fully realize she's back out of that glaze, and she's just gonna jump forward and like wrap her in the strongest hug. You did it! Good job!
I with your help, oh my gosh. I mean,
I
helped
just
with the
told
full
you to stop
moon
talking. You were the one who really did the thing.
I mean, there's a lot of factors, right? We got some glowing moon in the sky. We just talked to her, you know. I feel
How do you
light.
feel?
Light.
Good. Good.
I don't know. Right now, weightless. I have another extremely crazy thing to say or do, depending on, you know, how you...
What?
Let's get married tomorrow. Everyone that I want here, or I think you would want here, or can be here, is here. And why are we waiting? I know the promise ring is sweet, but why? Why? For what? For someone else who we care about to not be able to be there? I want us all there, and I want to do it now. If you're willing, if you will have me.
Okay.
Wait, really?
Yes.
And she's gonna grab her face and kiss her.
Oh. And she's gonna pull back. Wait.
Yeah.
I want my mom to be there. But we're fighting.
I did actually meet your mom.
You did? Oh,
crazy.
Right.
Time. You should talk to her. I think she'll be there.
But I want
Even
you to
with
meet
short
her.
notice.
Like, meet her, not under the circumstance of you being dead.
Well, when you're ready, I'll be present. And if she will be willing to talk to me, I'll be willing to talk to her again.
You said tomorrow you want to get married?
We don't have a lot of time. And
right.
Normally we seem to be on the run, or some god or goddess is in need of help, or the Demogorgon tries to kill one of us, so...
Right.
I think enough warning for everybody so that they can be prepared. We tell them in the morning, we say it's gonna happen tomorrow night, or that night, and whoever can make it, awesome. If not, we're getting married.
We're doing the thing.
We're just gonna do it. you
Well, we're already here, and we talked to one goddess. We could make time for another one if
you're
you're ready.
I'm always ready when you need me.
She's gonna give her a squeeze and resume the position of praying. You can tell that Basil kind of feels a little awkward. She hasn't had a chance to really talk to her mom after everything and all of the intense conversations. So she's kind of fighting for what to say in this moment. She's not sure if her mom's going to even be there. So, you know, her hand holding is a little bit tighter than normal. She takes a deep breath. Okay. Hi, Mom. I know that you are upset with me.
I am not upset with you.
Are you sure?
Keep muting my mic when I shouldn't be. Instantaneously, Basil, as soon as you try to reach out to the Raven Queen, you see her in front of you.
I was just really worried that I made you upset. I said some things that I meant in the moment and maybe still mean, kind of, but I went about it all in the worst way possible.
I made a mistake.
And you see as she said that, the weight of a god admitting to something like that, you can see that there's this like uncomfortable nature as she says those words, but you can tell she definitely means them as she kind of like drops her shoulders and says,
There is no reason for you to feel sorry or to feel like you hurt my feelings. I put too much on you. What you did was not something I should have scolded you for, something I should have been angry about.
I did a wrong thing. You're being who you are. And I shouldn't deserve preferential treatment. I'm still a follower just like everybody else is. And now I know right from wrong.
Yes, you are my follower, but you are also my daughter. But I should not scale one above the other in my favor. You are yourself. You are your own person, Basil, and I do not expect you to follow in my footsteps or to know all of the tenets and laws that I have put in place.
I have done some studying, you know.
I'm aware.
I'm tired of being in this weird space with you.
I'm
I've missed
sorry
you.
I put you there.
I will always forgive you. You've done more for me than my own mother ever has.
You have done more for me than words I can count. It's because of you that all of this is possible. Because of you, of where I am. My love for you extends my godhood. I am much more content being your mother than being your god.
Thank you.
And she looks towards Enid, who can't see her. This is another. Except Enid, you can't see into the ethereal plane and all that, so you don't see this happening. You just see the gloss over eyes. You do see Basil smile and a tear kind of fall down her cheek.
I am so happy for you.
I couldn't be more thankful and lucky to have found someone on this plane that wants to be with me for me, who, granted, met me at my worst possible time and decided to still pursue me. We met under the worst circumstances, and it just kept getting worse. And she saw me through all the sadness and the confusion. She saw what I wanted to be, what I was trying to be. And she's helped me become that person.
I'm glad that you have found someone who sees you as I see.
She asked me to marry her.
That is wonderful.
And it's tomorrow, very short notice, with, the ever impending death. So we're going to get it done with pretty quick, but I was wondering if you would want to be there?
Of course.
I don't know if I've been married in my other lives, or if I have. I doubt it's been a love like this one. I just have a feeling that this is the best love story I've had in all of my lifetimes.
It is said that only one finds one love in their lifetime. It seems you have finally found yours.
I will say, as angry as I was at you and told you to not bring me through another life cycle, I do want to thank you for allowing me to have this one.
I will also. I will make sure to uphold your request. It is not right for what I have been doing to you. I would only ask that when the time comes, you would join me.
I would love to. And when the time comes for Enid to also leave this plane, could she join us?
She is now a champion of Sahanin. when Enid leaves this place, you and her might be working together. My domain and Sahani are very close. And it has been a lot for me to also attempt to usher souls from the Veil onward with Sahanin's return.
Right. Is Aerolith doing okay? Do you know her?
Enid's soulbound.
Yes.
I am not able to peer to the other domains of gods. But from what I hear, she should be running around a garden of moon lilies with others of her.
Sounds about right.
Tomorrow,
Tomorrow will be the best day of my life, my lives.
And she just smiles at you and walks towards you and kind of places her hand on your cheek, and she's like 5 feet taller than you. She's still in her like goddess form, but you can see that the porcelain mask is no longer there. It's her face, and she kind of just bends down and kisses you on the forehead, and then just kind of brings you in for a hug.
She'll hug her back.
I will see you tomorrow.
See you. It's a stupid tradition, really. Do you have something that maybe I could wear? Like, do gods have things? Do you even have a bed? Do you sleep? Do you have a bedroom? I don't know. Do you wear clothes outside of this one? Do you do laundry? I don't know how it works.
All of those are mortal concepts.
Right.
So no.
Right.
If you're asking for a favor,
And she kind of looks towards her long cloak of raven feathers, and you can tell these are like almost like oil slick as the light kind of shines off these raven feathers, and they kind of glow in the light. She picks one off and gives it to you and says,
give this to your betrothed
Okay.
as my blessing.
She wanted to have your blessing, so I will let her know.
Does.
Thank you, Mother.
And to you, daughter.
and she kisses you on the forehead again, raven feathers, and you pop back out, and in your hand, as your hands are closed, you feel the raven feather inside, and you open it and you see it. Enid, you see Basil's eyes coming back too.
How did it go?
She's coming to the wedding, and she told me to give you this. It's from her cloak. She said it's her blessing for us to get married.
Enid, this is an actual magical item.
Well, it is from a god. I guess that tracks. Damn. What does it do?
It has two uses. It is a point of luck,
Oh.
or you can roll one death saving throw with advantage.
That's a really cool item.
Hot damn.
Mom needs to give us more feathers.
I know. Want to get married again?
Yeah, round 2. Do you want me? Here, I'll just add it as a.
It's not in
customized-
there yet.
Oh, I'll just wait then. Okay.
Yeah.
She'll-
I can add it, but it's not in there yet.
She'll take it, but she'll like focus on Basil first and then give her like a hug and everything. She's just like glad things are working, and she'll like look back to the feather. Oh, what?
She said, we're both champions, right?
Yeah, I wasn't. I knew you were. I wasn't expecting to be one, but yes, that did. Yeah, as of right now, yes.
She and I were just talking, and apparently, our goddesses' domains are very close. They work together.
Kind of the whole veil thing. It sounds like.
So when our life here ends, we can continue in the afterlife.
Enid cries.
Basil does
cries.
too.
I don't need to cry, but she just cries and she hugs Basil because, like,
Yeah.
what better news is that than to know that you'll be with your loved for the rest of your existence?
Yeah.
So, but then after they're done crying, she will say that she'll try and incorporate the feather in whatever she wears tomorrow.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my god.
I know. I'm like, there's no fucking way I'm not fucking gonna cry this
I
fucking
know.
session. So anyway, unless you had more to roleplay, I think
That was
maybe
it
got the point across
for this part.
this portion. Yeah. Oh, they go back to Basil's room. Let's just say implied Marvin Gaye ain't getting on until the morning.
I was drinking.
All right, it is
Agreed.
implied.
Agreed.
Okay. So, is there anything else, Rianne, Gideon, Gak, you want to do before heading to bed tonight? Going once.
Oh,
Gideon,
raising my
sorry.
hand.
Sorry. I need to. Yeah, I got.
I was like, any second now. I know that there's some night activity, but at some point, Gideon would use his dream spell to connect with Basil that night.
Okay.
So popular.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
happens.
y'all. This whole session is gonna be about lesbians.
Do not apologize.
All right, Gideon. As you step into the dream realm, Basil, what does your dream look like?
I would say, actually, considering the complete whirlwinds of emotions that we all just went through, she's surprisingly not really dreaming at all. It's pretty calm. I think, you know, having Enid's hair change, her becoming a cleric champion, proposal, the Raven Queen stuff, it all kind of not canceled out everything with the Demogorgon, but definitely put a big old band-aid on it. So
I'll ask this question.
yeah, she's not dreaming of anything specifically.
Well, it's just kind of a bunch of things? Or is it it's just like kind of blank?
It's kind of blank. Like, if there
It's a
was...
feeling.
It's a feeling. It's pink.
Okay. So, Gideon, as you step into Basil's dream, everything is almost like a sunset pink-purple color around you. There's a field of grass around. Would you say Basil's definitely happy right now? It's kind of...
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you
Very
see a very
content.
happy... Yeah, very happy Basil kind of picking flowers in her basket in a field of grass and a very pink sunset in front of you.
Because Gideon's kind of been tinkering with the dream realm ever since Ishna's defeat. So, like, does he recognize that, like, oh, Basil's, like, in a really good mood? Like, is he able to kind of pick up on that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, glad to see you're pleased with how today went.
Not the whole almost dying stuff. No, That is not my favorite thing that happened. I don't know if she. You might also want to jump into her dream, but Enid has proposed to me.
Didn't she already do that with the promise ring?
I promised her that I would be with her forever. I wasn't sure if she was ready for a wedding, any of that. But I guess she was. So she made it official, and we're going to get married tomorrow.
What?
What?
Tomorrow?
Yep.
Like morning?
No, tomorrow evening, night.
Okay, that gives us some time at least.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
It's
sorry,
very
I'm
last
being
minute.
rude. Congratulations. That is
You're
excellent
fine.
news.
Oh, thank you.
Apologies, I was not prepared for this.
I too wasn't prepared when it happened. It's okay.
Is she doing okay though?
She seems to be doing well, considering. I'm currently sleeping right now, so I'm assuming she's still sleeping in my arms and having a good dream. I usually wake up when she has bad ones. She twitches a lot in her sleep. So I'd like to think it's safe to say that she's in a good headspace too.
Well, I'm very pleased to hear this. Perhaps now is not a good time then for what we had discussed.
I think a big thing that Enid has helped put into perspective for me is there's no better time than the present lately, because you never know what's going to happen. So, I have the time.
Very well. And he will go and he'll stand next to her. Would you call her here if you can?
Yeah. And she'll focus a little bit. Hi, Mom. I know we just talked, but could use your assistance as not my mother, but as a goddess.
Basil,
Please.
because you're in the dream realm, which is technically not technically, it is not the domain of the goddess of death. I'd like you to make a religion check with advantage.
Okay.
Guidance.
Oh, thank you. Okay. And that's one more roll I could do too.
No, you just roll a d4 and you add it.
Okay.
$25.
25.
Okay. That is not what I wanted.
Someone answered, but it wasn't the Raven
It
Queen.
wasn't.
There it is.
Okay. After a few moments, Basil, you see in your dream across the way, across the plain. Raven feathers. She looks towards you, Basil, and you can see her face, and she smiles. And as she looks towards Gideon, it's like, I don't know what they're called, but it's like this, is it? I think it's in China. They have like this like person who has like a face, like a masks can change super quick, and they do it in front of you, and it's like a whole performance. As soon as she looks towards Gideon, the mask is there. But as she looks to you, Basil, it's her face. Gideon, you only see the white porcelain mask. She also, to you, Gideon, you don't notice this, by the way. This is just description. Gideon, for you, she is about 20 feet tall. For Basil, she's humanoid size.
That's fun.
I might be offended if I noticed.
Mom, this is my friend Gideon.
She nods her head.
We were wondering if you could provide some assistance, any kind of knowledge. And she'll look over to Gideon and like prompt him to ask any question.
Do you already know why I'm here?
I have an inclination.
I wish to know how you killed the prior god of death before you. It's okay,
I need
I'll
to show.
wait.
I need to share this. So Jacqueline just made Mother's Day gift for my mom who's coming up this weekend. Hold on, I gotta show it. So it's a picture of Bella,
Aw.
and each one she's holding like a little thing, and it says,
That's cute.
That is so sweet.
That's
Oh my
sweet.
gosh, she gonna cry.
It's so cute.
It is sweet.
It's so great. All right, back to being a god. Do you see the question, Gideon? I wouldn't say you can tell she takes it as, what's the word? Offense. But it is definitely, she is not happy about the question. Basil,
More
you hear.
uncomfortable or more angry?
More uncomfortable. I honestly kind of both. As like a mortal asking a god, "How did you kill a god?" You know, kind of thing. Like, and I think Gideon would understand.
Hubris.
I think Gideon would also understand the very minimal things that need to happen to even like consider killing a god, which requires great power. And you can see she's trepidatious about answering a question like that because history repeating itself is not, most of the time, not good. Basil,
It's very common.
You hear.
Walter, why does he ask such questions?
If she were to talk, I'm assuming Gideon would hear too, right?
No, Gideon does not hear this conversation to you.
I promise it's I know how it sounds. Gideon just doesn't always know how to word things sometimes. It's
Gideon can
towards-
hear you talking. No, it's your dream. You can say it's telepathically.
Oh,
Gideon
I
has
don't care.
noticed. Okay.
It would have been funny, but it does make
Okay,
more
Gideon-
sense
It
for
would
him to
No,
be
no, yeah.
locked out.
Hey,
No,
she said
it's okay.
Doesn't care. Yeah, you hear all of that.
Yeah.
Except for anything the Raven Queen said.
I'm just hearing base.
She'll look back at Gideon. Gideon, you have to understand how that sounds to a goddess who wasn't the goddess of death, who killed the god of death. I don't know if
Okay.
you'd want to explain more.
Okay, let me try again. I would like to know how you killed the previous god of death, because I'm hoping the information will be useful to me in our conquest against the Demogorgon. Because in our last bout with him, it did not go well.
Demogorgon is not a god, nor have they reached godhood. There is far less work required to kill Demogorgon than to kill a god. But I know your intention, and I can see that they are not filled with malice.
I think we're just trying to grasp for anything that can, I don't know, give us some leverage.
The gap between our powers are greater than I thought they were. I want to make sure that when we do inevitably face Demogorgon, that not only do we succeed, but hopefully before it costs us anything or anyone.
My fight, transfer of power, previous god of death, may help you, but there are other means to empower yourself. Fight. In my past life, I was a very strong wielder of magic. Peasant girl. Would steal books and learn and read. I tricked the god of death. Pompous, arrogant god. Thought nothing could stop them. What's his downfall? I tricked the god of death into signing a contract with me. Become his champion. Of course, he did not read, and it was bound by the arcane, tricking him to transfer all power to me in order to become the champion. In his weakened state, I struck him down and became the goddess. But this means of your fight with Demogorgon, I do not think this will come in handy. You need strength, power. All of you already have the intelligence. Demogorgon has surrounded himself and siphoned magic from different planes of existence to fuel his power. The Prince of Chaos, much stronger than he was before. Do what he did, but except for siphoning power, you may find there are artifacts still hidden in this world. Artifacts with great power. Artifacts from another time. Artifacts created by us.
Artifacts that would be very dangerous to possess, I'm guessing.
In some instances, yes.
Do you happen to know what any of these are?
They have been moved and long forgotten. My time and all of the gods' placements of them, vestiges given to the first champions of each of us. Just so happened, Basil, the tomb you were in before. You were trying to find information.
Oh, when I was underwater.
Your vestige is there. The one I gave you in your first life.
Oh. I didn't find it there. What is it?
Only
Did I
the
find it?
devoted
Oh.
would have been able to see it. As you were searching for information, you were not fully devoted at the time.
That's kind of rude.
Apologize.
I mean, it kind of makes sense.
Okay, I can go back. I know where it is.
The others are spread around the world. There are knowledge books that the mortals have created over time that you may be able to find information on. There is another option other than vestiges.
What would that be?
There is a great forge that was long lost after the Age of Arcana. A great forge that created great tethers that were used to lock away very powerful individuals. This great forge rests within the White Crest Mountain. Once a territory of the dwarves. Long ago.
Is anything still there?
I do not know.
Do the gods talk to each other at all?
Very rarely.
I don't know if you've heard anything outside of the obvious about the Demogorgon, if any of the other gods have been saying anything.
We are aware of what Demogorgon is attempting. But he is nowhere close to his final goal.
Why aren't the gods stepping in to help?
Because the gods do not have jurisdiction over everything. If we were to step away from all of our duties, all of our things would start to tear away. I, as the goddess of death, cannot step away from ushering souls into the beyond.
Understandable.
Likewise to the other gods. We only hope to give our gifts to those who can carry out our deeds.
That's why Gideon and I wanted to come to you tonight, even with the rough start to the conversation. Sorry about that. Understand how that can sound. No, we are way in over our head. Way in over our head here.
She knew what you meant.
Thank you. And I don't want us to just keep fighting this losing battle when there are other things we can try.
Yeah.
But we'll look under the lake. And we'll go back to the White Crest Mountains, see what we can find.
We have a start at least.
This is a lot more than we had. I think any kind of hope is enough to keep us pushing forward.
There is the other option that all of you still know. Remove the tethers of the Demogorgon from the two planes he is siphoning. Those are your options. Match Demogorgon's power or strip him of his.
We have much to think about.
How does a group of people save the world?
Together.
While trying to keep everybody alive.
I believe that your group is fit for the job. The balance of everything rests in this, lest we have another calamity.
Who knows at this point? Anything seems possible now.
She looks towards Gideon and says,
Are there any other questions?
No. That was the only thing I needed to know. Thank you.
She nods her head and looks towards you, Basil, and you can see... Obviously, you can see that her demeanor towards Gideon is a lot more cold and godlike. And as she looks towards you, and she smiles and says,
Tomorrow.
One last thing. The story about how you became a goddess, that was really brave and cool of you, Mom.
Forget.
What'd you say? You broke up a little bit.
Sometimes I forget.
Well, I'll help you remember. And we'll laugh at that old, ugly god who you got the better of.
she comes over towards you, Basil, and Gideon, as she walks towards Basil again, she is 20 feet tall, as tall as the storm giants. And as she gets towards Basil, you do notice her shrink, and then hug Basil.
Basil will hug her back.
And for the second time in the same night, Raven.
That's probably the most I've talked to her in a long time. 2 times in one day. It's a record.
Well, thank you for aiding me with that. Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry if she made you feel awkward. I'm sure it was an awkward conversation for her as well, but
Yeah.
I think we got a lot of good information, actually.
I would agree. We have many options, and no reason to only use one of them.
We at least for sure know what one of them is. And then we'll just find the second one.
Indeed. I think I've taken up too much of your time tonight.
Well, I will see you tomorrow.
And he will give a little wave and salute, and he will vanish immediately.
Okay. As that happens, all of you rest during this night. And you start to hear the birds outside. And the ocean is still distance. But what you can also tell is that the moon is still visible. Very faintly, very close behind the star called the sun. You can see that it is in this perpetual purple hue as of right now with the return of the goddess. And as you wake up and you see the keepers of the keep and the soldiers and sellswords that you have hired, some of them are just kind of staring out the window, looking at the moon, and you just hear murmurs of, I can't believe she's back. You saw that, right? Last night? That was a god here. And you just hear these kind of murmurs throughout the keep. And as you are making your way towards the main dining hall, Romulus just looks towards Gideon and says, "Good morning," and looks at everyone, "Good morning," as you kind of walk past. And get ready for the day. All of you are eating your breakfast currently right now. Is there anything anybody wants to talk about during breakfast?
Yeah, Rian, as he's eating, is going to kind of pick at a piece of food. And... So, does anyone have any plans for the day?
Enid will look to Basil, and I don't know who. She'll say it if Basil doesn't want to.
Basil will like give a little nod to Enid.
So, Basil and I have some news.
Mm-hmm.
She grabs her hand and then says, "We're getting married tonight."
What?
Oh my
Tonight?
goodness. This is the most exciting thing. We have so many things to prepare.
We did talk a little bit last night about a few different things. So everyone here, if they're willing, is a participant.
Oh, I'm very willing.
Okay.
Please pick me.
Actually,
Choose me.
Yrsa, I have something I want to ask you. Would you be our flower girl, but my maid of honor?
Yrsa is crying. I would absolutely love to do both of those things, and I will do my very best to make sure all the flowers are the best flowers you have ever seen. Oh, this is the happiest day of my life, and I am so excited.
I'm so glad. Yay! I figured you would be up for. I figured everyone would be up for it, but I mean,
my
I'm
God.
glad it's working out. You know.
Yes, I'm so happy. And she's like, I don't know, punching at Rian from happiness. Isn't this so exciting?
It is. It's very exciting.
Gideon hands Yrsa a handkerchief.
And then she looks to Basil, kind of like nodding to Gideon to see if she wants to ask Gideon his thing. Sorry, you took a bite of food. I guess I could have done it. I'm like, no, Rachel, now you should speak.
I've also been talking a lot. Gideon, Enid and I were wondering if you would possibly want to be the one to marry us.
Oh. I mean, of
Or not.
course, I've just never done it before, but I'll do my best. I don't have any books on the subject, so I'll have to
We
go off
trust
of
you.
memory.
We trust you.
We're just, you know, clearly it's kind of thrown together, so I don't, you know, no pressure, I guess. But we were talking about it, so.
You just have to remember who you're talking to.
That's true. You never do anything half, so.
I'll figure it out, I promise.
And then Enid will kind of like look over to Gak and kind of give like a little quirky smile and say, "I was hoping my brother would walk me down the aisle."
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay. Thanks, Gak.
Basil will like shyly look over to Rianne. I was wondering if you would do me the honor of walking me down the aisle.
It would be the greatest honor of my life.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Otherwise, let's go.
It's so silent, and I'm so excited.
So, Yursa, I need to go dress shopping. Actually, anyone who wants to come, I guess we're all gonna kind of go shopping for stuff. But I think maids of honor are normally there to like help like approve and disapprove and stuff like that.
I will do this, and I will do it to the best of my ability, because I'm just so happy.
I fucking love Yursa. Oh my god.
One of the housemates who's like cooking the food brings out more breakfast food and says, "Here you go, dear," and kind of gives you a napkin. And just walks back into the.
Blows her nose very aggressively into it. Let's go shopping for the wedding.
So, Basil's gonna cast Sending to see if Morita and Vasari could come and be, like her maids of honor, but she'll look over at Gak and, would you want to go dress shopping with me?
Yeah, absolutely. And I can buy some stuff too when I'm.
Yeah, we'll get you something, and maybe for Chip too.
Yeah.
That's so cute. Chip and like having a little tie. Yes. I love that.
What colors will the wedding be?
Oh, great question.
Glad you asked. We
actually have them.
I had a feeling you would.
So the Pinterest
John,
board
I'm
has about
looking-
4,327 images saved.
We didn't go that far, but there are plans.
3,000.
Basically, let me find it. It's jewel tones focused on pinks, like mauvey pinks and dark blues, but jewel tones and like some greens. So let me see if I can.
Can I have the link to the Pinterest board? I want to just peruse.
We only have one picture of the.
That's okay.
So not really like a
It's like
Pinterest board, but
not
here. Let me share
anything.
it. Here, I'm putting an art. Here's our color scheme. And we did pick out pictures of our dresses already, so for the people here, Yursa, you can see mine first.
Moody jewel tone. I've never heard of this color combo, but it's very beautiful.
It is very pretty. I'm like, back pocket for potential wedding for myself. That's fucking pretty. So
I vibe.
Okay. So, as everyone kind of gets up from the breakfast table, a pep in everyone's step that now they have to go dress shopping and shop for gifts and all of these things that need to be done. I assume Basil and Enid are going to let those at the keep that kind of run the keep know the arrangements of where the wedding is going to be and kind of start setting up things because they will need time to do so.
Yeah.
So as that happens, all of you get up. Are we going to Shradina or Aelden?
Which one has better clothing shops?
Aelden.
Probably
Maybe.
Aelden.
Aelden
Maybe
it is.
some of us go to Shradina, some of us go to Aelden, so that we don't compete in the dress department, and it can remain a surprise. Is that
Yeah,
dumb?
Basil can go to Aelden because Vasadi's there.
Well, there.
assuming.
We'll, Basil's team to Vasadi, Enid's team, the other one I forgot.
All right,
Whose team
Gideon.
am I on?
Gideon, you and I are staying to decorate.
But I need to buy better clothes. I can't. wear
Yours is
this.
going to make a list if you're going to decorate of everything.
All right, Gideon, you go. That'll
hang
do
on.
it. That'll do everything.
Hang on, relax. He rips out a page from his book and he hands it to Gak. Can you make sure you get all of this?
That is a good idea, actually.
Yeah.
Thank you.
I can't read it.
Gideon.
I know,
just
but
takes the
I
paper and
just
he
will figure it out.
Rian's gonna
puts it in his bag.
Rian's gonna say to Gideon, "Can I see that real quick? Your journal." Thank you. He's gonna write some stuff down. He's gonna rip a page out. All right, here you go. Yursa. Yursa.
Yes.
Oh, you're right there. Sorry. Could you get this stuff for me, please, while you're out?
This?
Yes, that I have written
Are
there.
you sure?
Well, now I'm not so sure. What is?
Okay, I'll make sure I get it for you. Goodbye.
What did you write down?
I just details on an outfit that I wanted. No,
We're gone.
Okay. It's about an hour and a half's journey towards Shredina. So, who's in Team Shredina right now? It doesn't really matter, but
that was me and Yursa, right?
Yes.
And Enid.
This music
Plane
is
shift.
stop.
So you told Yursa to just plane shift over there? You gotta travel an hour and a
Good.
half? I don't think so.
So what, Gak and Basil? Team Eldon. Rian and Gideon. Decorations. Alright, cool. You guys are staying behind. I assume that Gideon, if you guys need anything, you're just gonna pop out the Draconic Spirit and just fly there and fly back super quick. Or use the port glass. You guys will need to pick up flowers and things of that nature for the decorations. But for the next couple hours, you'll be decorating the beach. So, as Yursa and Enid go towards Shredina, you find a very elegant, beautiful dress shop. As you are shopping around for dresses, Enid, it takes a couple tries to find the right one.
Yeah,
but
Enid
you
also
finally
doesn't
find
wear
the one.
dresses, so it's like a little new for her. And she's like, Yursa, how do you wear skirts like this all the time?
Oh, you just
The-
need more.
More
The woman who
skirts?
works there, there's a point where she's so happy and she's like, "Oh, try this one," and you're like, "No," and
This
she's like,
is
"Okay."
really
and then about
orange
after the
for a wedding? I don't know.
after about the 7th one, she's like, "Why not this one?" and just hands it to you. And you finally find the one if you want to post the dress that you found.
Yeah, how do I post it? Can I like copy and paste it?
Yeah, you can copy paste it.
Okay, let me try. Hold on. Copy image. This one. Maybe? Oh, it does work. Oh my gosh, that's gonna be so handy. This is the dress. So good. And
Okay.
then to complete it, she's got this flower crown that has, it's not leaves, it's raven feathers, and she's gonna put the raven feather in there as well too. So.
That it'll mark off about 50 gold pieces. It is a very, very elegant and well crafted dress. As you are there, we will cut over to. Is there any? You're just shopping for a dress in Shredina, right? You're not. Are you picking up anything else over there?
I mean, the whatever Rian had written down, which I assume is his attire as well as Yurisa's attire too. So
Cool.
just all the attire, I think.
So just mark off for your attires, because it is a wedding dress, Enid. It is more expensive because that's just how it works. Yeah, and for Yursa and Rian to mark off your gold, it would be around 25 gold pieces for both of them.
Got it.
So you get all of that and start heading back towards your keep. It's been about 2.5 hours, 3 hours at the point. We will pop over to Basil and Gak, who are walking to Eldon. It's a couple more hours than to Shredina. Or you port glassing there. It'll take you a lot longer to get to Eldon from your keep.
I also don't mind to, like, for the sake of time, us port glassing or seeing if someone could, I don't know, jump us over there.
There is one person on that list that can. On another.
If Gak's fine with
Well,
it.
You'll have to get there first before you talk to the person on your list that can help you teleport people to your wedding. So we'll just say you port glass there. It's the easiest mode of transportation there. You don't have to go through Ladoon, which is one of these like town in between. So it would probably take like 8 hours to get to Eldon if you walked or rode. It'd probably take like 6. But you port glass over into Eldon. And you look around for a dress shop, you also find one very elegant, very beautiful, and Basil, I'll say you find yours a lot quicker because you are used to wearing dresses. You know what you like, and you find it pretty quickly. It will cost you about 56 gold pieces for the dress, but if you want to post your dress into the chat,
Yeah. This one is from Pinterest. It says French style. So that's, I guess, the vibe where fancy French. And then she's also doing kind of a headpiece to represent Aerolith since she's not able to be present. So also found this one on Pinterest. Aerolith. What? Aerolith. So yeah, it's just kind of a little symbolism for Aerolith since she can't be there.
this is something that's going to be custom made, so it'll cost about 15 gold pieces, but you also have to stay around for a while, which you plan to anyways, because there's people you need to talk to.
So how much total was that? Could you repeat that?
56 plus 15 is what? 71 gold pieces.
Cool. And I guess just for the sake of time, John, I'm fine with just casting Sending or something to Morita and then fighting Vasadi. To like let them know about the wedding and if they're able to come.
Awesome. Gak, are you finding new clothes?
I think Gak was going to talk to Basil and be like,
so I still have my yellow shiny jacket, if you think that'll work.
Well, what would you like to wear, Gak? Would you like to wear the yellow jacket or do you want something new and fresh?
I don't know.
Well, I love fashion, so if we want to, we can get something custom made for you as well.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, let's go. And like, I guess she'll lead him to her favorite seamstress or whatever. Tailor.
So,
And
okay. I will say for Gak, Nick, do you have anything in mind that you think Gak would wear? I know the colors need to be blue and yellow.
Mm-hmm.
I know that is a fact. Is there anything that you're thinking of that you want this to look like, or do you want me to come up with it?
You can come up with it. Gak's just like, whatever you want me to wear, I'll wear it.
Okay. So, what you get, Gak, is you get measured, and they start to make it. They say it'll be a couple hours, but they create you this really nice blue flowing tunic shirt. I don't know if that's the word. Flowing shirt. I don't know what they're actually called. That has like the frills right here, and it's in a like. It starts at the bottom. The frills start at the bottom as like this bright yellow that kind of gradient into a white around the neck, and then they're very slim fitting pants, very noble, almost like what you would see the paintings of like UK or the freaking King George and stuff. They kind of wear those pants that kind of go down, and then the socks and like the really nice shoes. So there's a little bit of gap. You kind of see your knees right there, and they create this beautiful, almost trench coat that is. It starts at where the shoulders are these little kind of tassels, almost like the Beatles. Oh my God, what's that album? Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Rock Band, where it's kind of like the golden tassels that kind of go over, and it starts from a white and gradients into a light blue, starting at the shoulders, and then very, very dark blue all the way down. And there are engravings and filigree of gold that are out throughout it. The cuffs are bright yellow, and the tail that kind of tapers off is a bright yellow, from dark navy blue to yellow. It is the nicest thing you have ever owned, clothing-wise. And as you try it on, Gak, Basil, you can see Gak. It's definitely It's not as flowy as your clothes at all. It's very form-fitting. So you feel the starch on the clothes as you're just kind of stale almost. But yeah, Basil, you see Gak's new outfit. You're muted.
Gak, how do you feel? What do you think?
I like the colors.
You like the colors? Okay. Is there anything about it that you are not a fan of?
No, nothing I can think of.
You like it? Do you feel comfortable in it?
Yeah, it's nice.
You look really good in it.
Thank you.
And Gak's gonna like walk away and be like,
The tail just kind of wraps around.
Oh, excuse me, ma'am.
Yes.
Do you have anything that would fit a frog?
He's this size.
it just points to Chip.
I could put a pocket.
You could put a pocket?
Stand still. And she walks over to you and goes to the trench coat and starts sewing this kind of pocket on the front. That's almost like you would see where you'd put, oh God, what is it called? The, for like suit jackets.
Corsage.
Yeah.
Or a hanky.
Yeah, the little hanky thing you put in for a suit jacket. Instead, it's just Chip hanging there in the pocket, looking out.
That's so
It is cute.
That
What
is
do you-
a first.
What do you think, Gak?
I think it's perfect. He can see the whole show.
Good. Then Basil will turn and, they'll give them money. You are getting a raving review. Thank you so much.
And thank you for your business. And you see a couple more people. Hello, welcome. And as you kind of walk out, Gak, you get dressed back into your regular attire. You're not wearing this whole thing the whole time, unless you want to. Unless Gak wants to wear it the whole time.
I think he does.
Okay, all right. Gak is wearing
It just
this.
it takes a lot of time to get in and out of clothes.
It does.
Okay,
Clothes
so
are difficult.
as that happens, where are you headed next? Vasati?
Yeah, I'd assume that they'd make a stop at where Vasati is. And then somewhere along the way, she'll cast Sending, reach out to Morita, let her know. And then if she's able to make it, then maybe someone could assist with helping her come over.
Okay. Yeah, Morita is ecstatic. With the amount of words she can send back in Ascending, it's not enough, but she's screaming, crying, and then she says, "How am I getting there?"
We got you covered. Don't worry. On our way. ASAP.
She just replies, "Getting ready now. Just send them my way." And you kind of hear in the sending her like kind of running off and screaming. You then find Vasati. She, as you were talking to her, she is at the guards' quarters. She's back in Aelden from being in Hillgrove and training. Also, by the way, you do notice that Aelden's been repaired quite well since Umbraxicor. Things are looking pretty good. There's still some construction going on, but it seems like the infrastructure of what Umbraxicor destroyed actually allowed them to build even better than before, kind of like Chicago. And the walls are higher. You can see that there are these arcane glyphs around the entirety of the castle, not in those towers anymore. They are on the sides of the castle walls. You also saw them incoming, too, on the walls of Aelden, as though if there's an arcane glyph to create a giant bubble around the city. But you find Vasati at the Golden Guard quarters, and you tell her, and she says, "Oh my gosh, when? When is this happening?"
Today.
You're lying.
I'm not lying.
Whoa. All right. I have to find my best dress. I have to go get a suit. All right. What time exactly do I need to be there? You don't need to send for me. I can get there. I can ride.
John, what time did we like?
I just know nighttime. That's all I knew. Or evening when it's dark outside.
Let's say whatever like 7 or 7:30 is in this world.
Okay. And the message is sent to Vasadi, and you talk to Vasadi, and she says, "I'm so happy for you."
Thank you.
All right, I need time to prepare. You need to leave me alone so I can gather my things and get ready.
Okay. See you there.
Getting married.
I know.
See ya. And she kind of gives you a quick hug, and she turns back towards the guard quarters, and the door is open. She says, "I'm out for the day, taking a personal day. See you later." And she like kind of walks off and kind of running towards the market district.
I doubt that's common there, is it? People just don't take
PTO isn't a thing, and everyone's just like, and she's like the captain, and they're just like, what the fuck are we supposed to do? So Vasadi, Morita, anybody else?
Mirthal.
Okay.
And we gotta get Dio too.
Dio. Yes.
Okay, you would find Dio first because you're closer to the docks, as he is definitely around there, drinking and telling stories. You can hear him telling the story of Oberyn and how he successfully helped the Seekers of Insania to defeat the Grand Dark Vampire. And he is telling a grand story. He's also, you hear him talking about, as you're walking up, talking about Umbraxicor and landing the final blow. And as Gak, how do you get his attention?
There's my favorite little liar.
He looks behind and goes, "Gak, my friend, how are you?" Basil?
Do you like my outfit?
You look uncomfortable.
It's
good?
very comfortable.
All right.
You'd be surprised.
Now who's lying?
Not me. I'm getting married.
What a wonderful day! Here, take a drink. And he gives you the drink he was drinking from.
It's bad taste for the bride to drink before the wedding.
Is it?
Bad taste to not accept a drink given to you.
That's not true.
All right.
Would you like to come, Dio?
Are you going to ask me to officiate your wedding?
No. Would you like to attend?
That will suffice. I don't have money.
I'm not
to get
asking.
New clothes.
Dio.
He looks towards Gak. Please?
Yeah.
Gak, actually, you don't need to make a perception check. You have a high passive. There's a giant coin purse in front of him on the table. And
Gak's gonna.
he sees you see it, and he goes,
I think Gak was gonna like walk around and be like, "So what's this then?" And just like pick it up and then hold it above Dio's head.
"Oh, it's donations."
Oh,
To the
donations to
children.
what? What children?
The children. All right, fine.
That's great.
Give it back. And grab
We
for it.
could invite the children to the wedding.
You don't want children at your wedding,
Are you sure? It's not my wedding.
Basil.
We would like to keep it within the family and close friends.
You see him after you say that kind of hold his heart. I'm a close friend? Or am I
Yes.
family?
Dio, do you want to come to this wedding or not?
Of course I do. And he grabs the gold out of Gak's hand. Looks towards his audience. Another time, friends, I will tell you the story of how I killed the dragon. Again! He kind of starts to turn around.
Which
and
dragon was that?
Talk to you later! And he's going to run out of the tavern.
Which dragon did you kill?
He's gone.
He must have been busy while we were gone.
Yeah, I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah, I kind of feel like he wasn't there.
Not at all.
Yeah.
One of the patrons of the bar just says, "We know he's lying."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why
It's
do you
just
put
so
up with the
sad.
lying? I think it's kind of fun.
It's so sad. He comes in here and talks about all of these stories and seems to be happy about it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's
Another
okay.
patron, another patron, very drunk, older man, burly set, and just kind of looks over and says, "He's a fucking liar."
Yeah, you're a fucking liar.
Yeah. And he starts drinking.
Oh, he's such a good liar.
Anyway, we should go. Very nice establishment you have here.
I forget what his name was, but he was, Dio was at the Bannered Mare. I forget what bartender's name was. He just looks towards you guys as you've been here and stayed here multiple times and says, "Thanks." And you leave.
Okay. Oh,
You then... Oh, go ahead.
Gak, do you know who else we could invite?
Who?
We could invite Alan.
That's true. Alan, that'd be fun.
Basil sending to Alan.
Okay. And you say?
Hi, Alan. It's Basil. I don't know if you remember me, but I'm getting married and you are invited. Would you like to come? I'm assuming
Well,
he
I'll be
remembered.
damned.
Okay.
Of course I'd like to come to your wedding. How am I getting there?
We will send someone to come get you. It is happening tonight.
All right. I cannot promise that I'm not going to smell like ale, but I
That's
will look
okay.
the part.
We have someone who is already smelling like ale, so you will fit in.
Should I bring ale?
If you like.
You don't hear this
Bring
because
the
the
keg.
sending is over, but on Alan's side, he just talks to himself and goes, "How the hell am I going to bring ale across the damn country?" As the sending is over, you head towards Marathil.
Yeah.
As you walk into the Sapphire Chalice, you can see that it is 3 stories now, and most of it is stone upwards. It is beautiful. There are banners of a golden dragon all throughout the tavern. There are hundreds of people in here where it used to only hold maybe 100. And you see in the center with these 2 kind of bridges going across on the 3rd level is this circular platform with these metal bars that can see the entirety of everything, and the floor is kind of glass-like and prismatic of this stained glass golden dragon. And it's funny because Marathil's not a golden dragon at all. He's a bronze dragon, but he's depicting golden dragons everywhere. You see that same couch that he's had before that you all sat on in the center as he looks down towards 2 of you and says, "My friends! Please, come. And you make your way up to the 3rd story and says, "Now what do I owe the pleasure of my friends coming to my establishment? Do you like the place? It's beautiful, isn't it?"
It's really nice.
You did a great job. It looks beautiful.
Thank you.
But we actually do have a reason for coming here. Enid and I are getting married.
That is wonderful!
Would you like to come?
Of course. Now? I'll go right
it's-
now.
It's basically, it is.
And you see that he is wearing the most extravagant, elegant clothes for a wedding. A huge trench coat flowing behind him. Let's go.
Okay. Also, wait, Marathil can help with, like, getting people right. I have 2 people who I may need help getting from where they are to Shredina.
Are you asking me to come to your wedding and then asking me to be your carriage, basically? To grab your friends?
Consider it a wedding gift.
Then it will be. This is your wedding gift from me. I
Thank
will go get your
you.
friends in Alamine.
It'll be really
All right.
fast. Really
He
fast.
snaps his fingers and you see travel clothes. When is the wedding?
This evening.
Wonderful. Do we
Basil
need wine? I'm
translates
bringing...
7 p.m.
Do we need wine? I'm bringing wine.
One of our
Always.
friends is also going to bring some stuff, so if you could help him pick that up, that'd be great.
Oh. All right. Okay.
It's okay to have more than one thing at the wedding.
No, it's the fact that I have to also transport. Anyways, I will do this for you and Enid
You're a
because I love you
dragon.
both. Shh, be
Gak.
quiet, Gak.
Thank
This
you
place
so
has dragons all over the walls.
Jack.
Doesn't mean it. No one knows I am.
No, that's
Ba-
what I meant to say. I said it wrong the
Jack.
first time.
Jack.
No, it's a.
My
You're not a
love.
dragon. That's
No,
crazy.
Jack.
it's
You just like them a
okay.
lot. That's why there's pictures of them everywhere.
Everyone knows I'm a dragon, Gak.
I know. So why do you yell at me?
I'm feeling hostility, and I'm sorry for
Anyway.
inviting that.
Okay.
I thank you so much for your help.
Do
From
you need help
Enid
getting
and
back home?
me. We do.
He snaps his fingers, again, and you see a portal.
Well,
Go ahead.
I still had stuff to do in the city.
Oh,
Snaps
what did
his
you need to?
fingers. The portal disappears.
What did you need to do?
I have to like go shopping.
We just went shopping.
There's other things than your wedding, Basil.
Jack, how could you?
I'm here for the pursuit of knowledge.
Okay, Gak. We can stay. It's not like I have a wedding to prepare for.
All right.
You can
Well,
go through
you
the
need-
portal.
Gak, this was supposed to be our time.
Okay, and your stuff's done, right?
Can you please tell me the address of your friends so I can go pick them up so I can relieve myself of this conversation entirely?
Sorry. Gives address. Says.
I will see you later, and disappears, teleports. Hours later, Marita and Alan show up. Rian and Gak, just let me know what you're trying to buy. Are you shopping? You said you're shopping, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Just let me know what you're trying to buy. We get back to Rian and Gideon, who are preparing. You do see walking down the long staircase down to the beach. You see Alan, dressed in very nice attire, as he says, "Oh, hello, you two. I have ale as a request from bride."
Which one?
Basil,
Okay.
where am I setting?
To the beach.
All right. And you see, as he's walking, just looks at the sand. All right. Coming from a farm town that's not around sand at all. He walks towards the beach and puts down the ale and starts to set up a little kiosk for ale itself. You then see walking down it's almost like he himself has a wedding train behind him, as it is kind of flowing down the staircase behind him as he walks down. My friends, as you see Maritha walking down the staircase.
Hello.
Do you need any help? As requests from Basil, I was to bring her friends here. I just wanted to help a little bit if you wanted it.
I think we've done fairly well, but you can check in with some of the others, see if they need help. I'm sure your magic would make it 1,000 times easier.
Of course. Brienne,
Marathil?
good to see you again. And you see him start to levitate flowers into position, and being a sorcerer, just kind of
Rian
doing bullshit.
leans over to Gideon and says, "Do you think that this is the first time we've seen each other since the event, or do you think this is the first time I've seen him since the event, and he's seen me many times.
Well, it's definitely the second one.
Yeah.
First one I can't comment on.
Huh?
But I think we know.
All right.
You hear off
Rian.
in the distance, Rian, as you're saying that, you just hear, "These flowers will not do," and you just see him like enlarging one of the bouquets of flowers.
Neat.
It's pretty cool.
Rian, if you have a moment.
Of course, yeah. As we're like putting together centerpieces for tables. Just common wedding stuff. Just
Yep.
yeah. Put the fairy lights in.
The past 2 days have been a lot. I just wanted to see how you were feeling. I know we should be celebrating, and we will, but it's not a reason to overlook if anyone is hurting. And I just wanted to make sure you were okay.
No, I'm doing fine. I think it's a lot for everyone. If anything, I should be asking you the same question. I mean, there was a moment there where I thought we'd have to leave you behind, and I'm very glad we didn't. But
There was a moment where I thought you should.
you know, I feel guilty a bit. Everything worked out in the end, but there was a moment during it where I debated going to you and then going to Basil. I thought everything would be fine, and it was in the end, but just know I wished I would have gone to you.
I don't think you have anything to be sorry for. It was a horrible situation. There was no way to know what the right choice was, or if there was one. Things might have gotten worse if you came to me. We don't know. What we can see is that things worked out. I don't mean to make light of what happened to Enid, but we got her back.
But I did have one thing that I wanted to give to you before the evening's festivities.
Oh. Okay.
One of the things that ever since Hillgrove and the finding of the Rift Warden staff there, my connection to the divine has been stronger, and to the forces of the world. And so tonight, when you officiate and welcome the two of them into this world as partners, and he's going to reach into his a bag off to his side, and he's going to pull out a small carved figure. What looks to be two little, very like featureless idols kind of attached to the side, one taller, one smaller. When I made a promise, that oath, I promised to protect the world, and I made that vow on something I lost because I didn't protect it. So when you welcome the two of them together as a unified force in this world, I want you to have this on you. And who knows, maybe some of that magic of mine will rub off on you. Not that you need any extra magic, but a little bit of the divine might not hurt.
I've never said no to more magic, have I?
That is very true, my friend. And he'll kind of place it in your hand and clasp it and squeeze and say, "Thank you for everything you do, Gideon."
I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. I didn't know the man, but I think your father would be very proud of you.
The king or the farmer, I hope both are. And I like to think you're right. And
I usually am.
Can I hug you, Gideon?
Of course.
All right. And he'll kind of pull you in
And while they hug,
yeah. Oh.
You hear Gideon say, "I don't say no to family."
Well, good.
You hear in the background. And on that note,
Rian will take 2 points of psychic damage. Just roll the d4 there.
as we move back towards Enid and Yrsa, you are getting back from your travels. Enid, you go and find.
Yeah, so she'll kind of tell Yrsa that she'll meet up with her after she goes has a talk with Rian. So she'll hand the dress to Yrsa, and then she'll go find Rian, who I assume is still down by the beach.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah. Sorry.
Marathon greets you. You know, the Holly. Marathon waves and gives you a hug, and you know, like the Hollywood like peck on the cheek.
Oh yeah,
things.
and she's like,
yeah.
Okay.
So
Hi.
you so happy. They look great, and he looks towards Gideon and Rian, who are not dressed yet, who have been digging in the sand, making this beautiful arrangement, and it is beautiful. You see it for the first time, Enid. There's a beautiful altar or archway that overlooks the ocean, and these petals that are lined towards the archway, and these bouquets of flowers resting atop pedestals that kind of line the archway, or line the pathway, and then on the sides are chairs, and there's tables outside. You see Alan, who kind of waves towards you he's making a table for ale.
Alan doesn't know Enid.
Yeah, he's just waving because he sees
Maybe
you in the
he
dress, and
knows.
he's just like, ah.
Yeah. Hi, you must be Alan. I've heard so much about you.
Just waving.
Okay.
You find Rian, and I will be right back.
All right, cool. Well, we don't need the
Gideon.
DM for this part.
Gideon has not taken off his 3-piece suit while working in the beach, by the way.
Gosh, commitment. But I get it.
Rian hasn't taken off his armor.
Clothes are nice.
Y'all, commitment. Y'all could have done that.
Rian's armor is mithril, so it weighs nothing. So he's wearing it for safety,
You don't want
you know?
sandy all, though. you
No,
know?
I mean, the last time Rian has ever done anything, he somehow always winds up in near death or dangerous situations. So he's armed and armored all the time now.
That's really fair.
Yeah.
Well, Enid will walk up to our very well-dressed workers and say, you guys didn't want to get comfortable before, you know?
This was the least nice thing I had to wear.
Oh, wow. I should really clean up my wardrobe then.
I spent a lot of money when we saved Eldon. Like a lot of money. You should see my closet.
I'll take it to her sometime. Rian, can we actually go on a walk for a second?
Of course. Gideon, do you have the rest of this?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'll just... What is it we're doing again?
Yrsa will appear and use Gideon to help her hang things.
Perfect.
Telekinesis.
Perfect. But yeah, as they just like walk down the beach, Enid will say, I know that we kind of just like move quickly and everything, so I'm sure everyone's still trying to like process everything. I didn't want to wait for another bad thing to happen before, you know, anything. And there's a lot I want to talk about, and some of it I don't feel ready to, it hasn't all sunken in yet, but I guess since it's all happening so fast and everything, I just wanted to kind of connect with you because I know you're Basil's adopted daughter, but there's still a part of me that, you know, sees you as that figure for me as well. And I'm just really, really glad you're here.
Enid, there are a lot of regrets I've had in my life. But I think the biggest one was not knowing that I left you behind on that fateful day. I know we can't change the past, but I can only think about how different our lives would have been. What I have found you, what pain both of us could have avoided. But through our toughest trials, we emerge strongest. We forge bonds unlike anything else this world will ever see. So even though I wish I could go back and change it all to give you the life a little girl deserves, I am at least okay knowing that that little girl I didn't save has grown up to be such a strong, beautiful young woman. So
I think about it, what it would have been like, you know, growing up with somebody to always like be there. But, and I hope you feel the same way, that like, I don't know, the pain doesn't feel as strong anymore, because it's like, why let that pain keep winning? It had so many years to linger, but now I have essentially everything that I wish I could have at one point in time. And if I were to sit there and just be angry and sad that I didn't have it for as long as maybe one should have, then I'm wasting what I have now. And Basil already knows, and I know the hair change is from my bond with Moon now going away, but and she'll like, obviously she'll point to her forehead, pretty obvious, but I feel like people just figured it was more of a Moon thing. And then she'll also like move her scarf so he can start to see some of it going down her spine too, and say, I'm telling you this because I you know, want to share with you this. And I made a commitment to Sahanin last night, not just, you know, the impromptu proposal. And in that process, I didn't expect to be asked this, but Sahanin asked me to be her champion. And I said yes. And obviously, there's a lot of things going through my head, but the first thing I wanted to do was tell you. I don't know why. I just did.
Well, let me just say this. Although neither you nor Basil are my daughters by blood, you make me one proud father. And I'm so excited.
You're getting a big squeeze, just so you know. Over the, you know, around the neck.
Yeah. And I think that those are all the words I'll say for now.
That's fair.
You'll hear more tonight, but for now, kind of pats her on the back.
And she'll just kind of like, as his hand sits there, she'll like hold it for a second and then walk back with him and say, everything's coming together actually way better than I thought it would, because I thought maybe, I don't know what I was thinking, but I was like, we'll just all be there and say the thing, you know? So.
I think that with Merithil here, this is going to be a night to remember.
I think so too.
I want it to be known that at this point in time, there are other people helping you guys decorate the housemaids and people who you employ, and Merithil has become the coordinator.
The wedding planner.
Yeah. He's
Love
like, no,
him.
no, not there. I said about 3 inches to the right. That looks hideous. It's not, and he kind of steps back. That is not a line. Do you not see what I'm seeing right now? No,
I mean, the only
you got
way
it
to
wrong.
have an impromptu wedding is to invite a dragon to do everything for you. Right? So.
I'll do it myself, and he kind of like just moves the person out of the way.
I love him.
I feel like Yursa has been following him around, and she goes to say something, but he completely just answers for her, and then she's like, I'm so sorry. I promise you're doing a great job. Okay, keep going. Yay, go team. Wow. And
We
just,
need
like,
more
trying
flower
to-
petals right here, Yursa. And he kind of turns back towards you.
With more flower petals. Uh-huh. Flower petals. Woo.
That is wonderful. Thank you, dear. And he just, yeah, he's the wedding planner now. He's taken over.
I love it.
At this point, is there anything else anybody wants to do or say as Gak and Basil get back? However, is Basil staying away from, are you guys doing the traditional, don't see your significant other during the wedding thing?
Not when we're dressed, right? I think like if they're just seeing each other in their casual wear, it's not a big deal.
Yeah,
'Cause
like
obviously,
helping get everything prepared and ready.
yeah. So,
Okay.
but once they're in their dresses, they'll wait till like the whole thing, you know.
Yeah. Morita sees you, Basil, gives you a big old hug.
Yeah, Basil
Alan-
returns it.
Yeah, Alan says hello.
Mhm.
Later on, a couple hours later, Vasadi shows up. Dio shows up.
Enid squints when she sees Dio, but she's like, fine.
He just
with
waves.
it."
He just waves towards you. As he's waving, he
Gideon
goes,
also squints.
I was invited. I apologize, but I am here to support my family.
You're
Happy to have
welcome
you,
here.
Dio.
He's just wearing like a nicer pirate outfit.
Cute.
He's still got the really shitty tricorn hat with all the holes and but
That's okay.
Yeah,
it's the best he could do with the amount of gold he had.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah. Gak, you see that the gold purse on his side has not gotten any smaller. It makes you wonder how he got these clothes.
Hey,
They
Dio,
donated more money after you left.
Dio, real quick question. Where did you get
Yes.
those clothes from? Like what store? I like their stuff.
Gak, these are not clothes you can get from a store. They do not sell these kind of clothes. I got them from a very close friend.
Who was it? I like their style.
They have their own stylist and would not like me to disclose this information.
How did you find out about it?
Why are you asking me so many questions, friend?
Oh, why aren't you answering them? Why do you feel like there's a reason you have to be defensive or
no-
something?
Where is the seating in here? Oh, there it is. And kind of slaps you on the shoulder, like kind of like patting you, and then just kind of walks off. As he's walking, though, you see him go, "Oh, ale," and he walks. He like makes an L and just goes towards the ale. As everything is being situated and prepared, Basil, Enid, you head to your rooms to start get ready as night starts to fall. You can see the purple hue of the moon once more. Everyone near the beach side Gideon, you are down there with Marithil and all of the other guests as you are waiting. Rian, you are waiting for Basil as she gets ready. Gak, you are waiting for Enid as she gets ready. And Yrsa, you are waiting at the top of the stairs to start peddling flowers everywhere. All of you get ready and get dressed. And this is the moment. This is 7 p.m. when everything takes place. As everyone starts to stand, as Enid, you start to walk down the staircase leading down to the beach. You see the moon, beautiful and bright, overcasting onto the beach. As Enid walks down, and Yrsa pedals all around. Enid, you make it up to where Gideon is. Gideon, as you kind of look towards Enid. And Yrsa, you head back up. Gak, you kind of... Is there any talks that Enid and Gak are having as they're kind of walking down the aisle?
Oh, I was gonna say as Gak meets up with Enid, he's gonna grab both of her hands, and he's like,
Hey, I just want to let you know, this is awesome.
and he reaches into his pocket, and he pulls out the stone that Moon gave him, and he's gonna hand it to Enid. He's gonna say,
She's here,
I know.
and we all are.
I love
And
you,
he's-
Jack.
I love you too.
And
He
she'll give
goes
him a
in and-
kiss on the cheek.
he gives a big ol' hug.
Yeah.
Fast forward to the end of the beach underneath the archway. Gak, you release Enid's hand and stand off to the side. Yrsa, you come back towards the staircase, and you see a silhouette casted, a shadow casted across onto the wall, where there's a hallway that goes into a wall that then leads down to the staircase. You can see the shadow cast of two people walking towards there. Rian, is there anything you and Basil, or I guess Basil and Rian, is there anything you guys are talking about beforehand or during?
I think as soon as Basil came out and she was all dressed, Rian would just have this big grin on his face and say, "You look beautiful."
Thank you.
And
Thank
he would
you.
kind of take her hands and say, "I am so happy for you. And tonight, is a very special night. So know that even though the magic you can cast is much stronger, tonight is a good night. And no evil can find you up there." And although it's a small gesture, and although she could do so much more, Rian will cast protection from good and evil to keep the bad vibes out.
Oh. She'll definitely bring him in for a hug before they start walking out together.
Yeah.
You're the best dad a girl could ever ask for.
And Rian will just, for once, Rian is at a loss for words and will just smile.
Oh.
His eyes definitely wet.
Oh.
As Rian, you hold your arm out for Basil to grab it, and you start to walk. From the top of the stairs, down the long stone staircase. Girsa trailing in front, druid crafting beautiful, beautiful flowers. Enid, you see Basil walking down,
Cries. Tears.
glowing in the moonlight. As she walks down, your feet touching the sand of the beach, walking across. Brienne, you see Enid underneath the archway, Gideon in the center, and you walk her down as everyone just kind of looking towards Basil and looking towards Enid, smiling. Marathil in tears, but silently. Dio in
Amazing.
tears, but you can tell it's because he's drunk. As Basil gets to the altar, and you release her hand. I would like to thank Gemma for this image.
What?
As the
What?
two of you stand at the altar.
Gemma.
Oh my goodness.
Gemma.
It's so good.
Gemma.
Is a queen.
Oh
Look
my
at. I'm a
goodness.
zoom in.
Nothing she can't do.
I love how tall.
Thank you.
Yeah, I had to look at both of their character sheets, and Basil is taller than Enid.
I didn't
by a
know
couple
that.
inches.
Damn.
It says Enid's
Aw.
5'6", Basil's 5'11".
We really pull in a Charlie and Baggy moment.
We are.
God.
That's beautiful, Gemma. Thank you.
Gemma, Gemma, I fucking love you.
He's so good.
That
I
was
need
such
to
a nice
fly over there and
surprise.
give you a hug right
I
now.
know. Feel the
Close.
virtual hug.
Yeah.
I will post the full.
Yes, please. And it's like even your guys' like dresses. It's like
I
so
know.
perfect.
We do not deserve Gemma. What the fuck?
True.
I need this.
Mute
This is gonna be
for
my
crying.
profile picture, so I need this.
I love this so much. Oh.
Enid, Basil, you look at each other and look towards Gideon. Gideon, take it away.
And he's just kind of looking at them both for a little bit. Just kind of doesn't say anything for a while. Basil Alvain and Enid Sola. If anyone had any doubt about how happy this day is, they only need to think of the joy that these two names bring us alone. I first met Basil when I started my own journey. Most of us met in Hambefort, met at a very chaotic point in all of our lives. But I remember the first thing that I saw Basil did was rushing in to protect and save those that couldn't help themselves. Civilians that she did not know. I remember when we were pressed to help more. I think she was the first to agree. She was certainly the loudest. I didn't meet Enid. I didn't meet Enid when the rest of you did. I was indisposed. But she was part of the local Heroes Guild, using her talents and experience to also aid those that could not help themselves. I once read that behind every beautiful person, there was once tragedy. And I know that the two of you faced tragedy and sadness far more often than you deserved. And yet, despite that hardship, you rose from horrible circumstances. You refused to give in to any worse nature. And you've become some of the best of us. Perhaps you stumbled along the way. Perhaps you made mistakes. I believe we all do. But you found one another, and you both continually growed in skill and that desire to help others. We're on the way to saving the world as we speak. I've always tried to find understanding and meaning behind everything. I've always wanted to understand the why of the thing. But I think I've come to realize that perhaps some things are just beyond explanations. I look at the two of you, holding hands now, and physically being able to see that love you have for one another. How you make each other the best versions of you that I've seen yet. And even someone like me can only call that a miracle. I want to take a moment to thank both of you for always being willing to share parts of yourselves with us. It's been a great joy for me to watch both of you grow, to be a part of your journey. And on this, the best day of your lives, I would ask you both to look at each other, to see the joy in each other's eyes, to remember that there will be days both good and hard. There will be days where you are tested beyond what you believe you are ready for. But I know that the two of you together will be able to handle anything. I've been a part of many projects in my life. And on every single one of them, I always left my mark. So thank you for letting me leave a mark on this in my own way. Perhaps the greatest thing I've ever been a part of. Now, I believe that the two of you have vows prepared for one another.
Who goes first?
I mean, am I picking or are you picking?
You can
Rachel,
pick.
do you want to go first?
Yeah, I can
Or
go
do you want
first.
me to go first?
It doesn't matter. I can go first. Basil pulls out her little leather notebook that she had tried to find time during the day to scribble in. Never thought I would ever get to experience something like this with someone I love so dearly. It always seemed like something truly lucky people would have. But we are lucky to have met. Out of all the people in every plane, we found each other. I know it may seem that I always know what to say or do, but I discovered today that I feel like I don't know what to say. Because I'll never be able to express my love for you. Because I've never cared for someone this way, and I often find myself worrying that I won't be able to give you what you deserve. And while I'm inexperienced in real relationships, I know a lot about plants and how much care they require. And it's not that different to see them thrive, you must always give them kind words. Allow them space to grow separately, while reminding them you are there to help them evolve. To let them be healthy, you need to keep them watered, and make sure the weeds that surround them don't overtake them. Some may say that it sounds like a lot of work, but worthwhile things require time and dedication. To have a beautiful garden, you must use gentle and purposeful hands. You can't expect a lilac to behave like a tulip. You must let them be what they are. You admire their beauty from afar and up close. You'll allow them to take root in your life and make sure to take great care in their well-being, because you love to watch them bloom, and you want their colors to remain vibrant. So you'll spend your mornings and evenings telling them how beautiful you think they are. You remind them that it's okay to wilt sometimes, but that you'll always be there when they're ready to face the sun again. And when the rain refuses to drop from the sky, you will carry heavy buckets of water for miles just to keep them nourished. And when the sun sets and the moon rises above, you'll admire it together until dawn breaks. And you'll do all of this again and again and again until the very end of time. And I make my vows to you, Enid, but I also make them to Aerolith. I promise her that I will protect you. I will spend my days making sure that you're happy, healthy, and beyond loved. And when we move into our afterlife, no matter how or when we get there, you will still feel happy, healthy, and beyond loved. You will always have my warmth. I love you.
Okay. Oh shoot, my nose is running too. Oh, all things that shouldn't be happening are happening. That was beautiful. So that, yeah, Enid's probably in the same state that I am, because holy shit. Probably the typical, like, you know, when a couple's up there and all you want to do is kiss them, but you have to wait, so she's just squeezing your hand. But then she'll, after I'm done sniffling, pull out her, mine are handwritten, so sorry, I'll be looking down. Basil, I know our relationship didn't start in any way normal. We didn't go on a casual first date and get to assess each other's qualities before deciding to pursue anything further. I simply was drawn to you and am profoundly lucky that you were also drawn to me. And we started something that we work at every day, that gets deeper and wrinklier each step further on our journey. And I don't mean work in an unromantic way. It's not the work like a chore. Sorry guys, my nose is so runny. Oh my god.
I like to imagine
Actually, I
that's
might have a
Enid.
nosebleed. Actually, I'm so sorry. I have a nosebleed.
Oh my god.
Oh.
Felicity!
The
Give
anime
me-
effect.
Like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
God. I'm like,
I hope she doesn't
looked
notice.
down and I was like, what the fuck?
Huh?
Oh no.
Oh,
These things
senpai.
happen.
I can see into her eyes.
It's not funny.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
I'm just blowing my nose. I'm perfectly fine. Just give me like a second.
It is a little funny.
Oh my god.
It was probably just, you know, a little dry in there.
Tiffany's in here now too. Shit. Hold on.
It's just because she loves you and wants to make sure you're
I
okay.
know. She's
Yeah.
like, why are you crying? And I'm like, get out
She
of the
smells
bathroom.
blood.
Come here.
Mother, I am
Mother is not
There.
okay.
Come on,
Feed
come on,
me.
There we go.
It is time.
Okay.
I crave the
I
blood.
think we're good. There wasn't a ton. I just started seeing red, and I was like, "Uh-oh, it's okay
no.
though. It's not like a full flow." I'm sorry. This is so not romantic.
This
It
is how a
is.
wedding
Start
goes.
over? Should I start
Something
over?
has to go wrong. Yeah, if you want to.
It's your wedding. Do what you want.
Yeah.
Okay. What do
You can
we?
cry
does
if you
everyone
want
remember what
to.
I was saying? Because I feel it was very overshadowed.
Start from the top, babe.
No, start from the
Okay.
top.
All right. I was like, why is this not stop? Okay. Anyway. Basil, I know our relationship didn't start in any way normal. We didn't go on a casual first date and get to assess each other's qualities before deciding to pursue anything further. I simply was drawn to you and am profoundly lucky that you were also drawn to me. And we started something that we work on every day that gets deeper and wrinklier each step further on our journey. I don't mean work in an unromantic way. It's not work like a chore or obligation. Not the feeling you get when you see a mountain of dishes to wash right after you finally finished mopping the floor, but rather how an artist talks about their sculptures, something vital and prioritized, a masterpiece and pride. Our partnership is the most important work of my life, and I cherish it. To me, our love is like when Rian paints a landscape. He works on it with care and love, and only shares it with Yrsa once he's proud of the work he's done to create his masterpiece. Or like when Gideon invents something new for us. It's not just the practice of creating, but the artistry, beauty, detail of his work, and the love held in it, knowing that we are better prepared because of him. Or the way Gak's mind and will is so strong that he too is an inventor and artist of magic. His work comes from both brain, soul, and heart. Or the way Yrsa pours love into every living creature, no matter their shape or size. A passion and love of life is such an honorable work. And you, my love, your passion and fire are an example to me of a vital work. You took the life cards that were dealt and made a home. You may be a cleric of the grave, but I've never seen someone have such a passion for life. A woman who can see death as a new life is maybe potentially something I always needed. You care for every spirit that needs your guidance, and I may not be a literal spirit, but I was a lost soul for many years. I know this life hasn't been easy, but thank you for taking in this wayward soul into your home. I plan to work for the rest of my life at the treasure that is our love. Lean on me when times get hard, because I want to be the steady foundation you've been searching for. I want to admire you hanging curtains in our house, the same way I admire you watching and defending our friends. More than our friends, our found family. I hope saying that I'm excited for the mundane isn't boring, but I think we both are ready for peace as much as we've been ready for love. Also, don't worry about cooking. I'll take care of it.
I think what I say now will pale in comparison to the vows you two just made, but we must carry on. Do you, Basil, vow to hold, to love, to cherish Enid Sola with all your heart and soul?
I do.
And do you, Enid Sola, promise the same for Basil?
I do.
May your love be written in the purest of starlight. May it echo throughout eternity. And I now pronounce you two bride and bride.
Is this the part where we kiss? Oh my
Oh.
god!
Yeah, Gideon looks at you too. Don't let me stop you.
Yeah. Scooping arms around, kissing again.
Oh my goodness.
And I think
Why
it's
am I
so a tight-
overheating?
I'm overheating. I've been sweating this whole time. This shirt's got to get washed. But I guess
Basil,
we
you-
then do the whole walk down the aisle thing.
I know.
As you turn and start to walk, everyone stands and starts to clap. Yursa, you start to druidcraft flowers all over as they are flying through the air as the two of you are walking through them. Basil, you can see on one of the pedestals where the bouquets are a crow. Or a raven, not a crow, a raven. Just kind of looking towards you as you walk past. With that, the two joined in holy matrimony by the divine entities, or just Gideon.
He's a divine entity tonight. At
Still,
least.
No,
same
thanks.
thing.
Where's my notes? Where is it? Oh my gosh, I have it somewhere. No.
Womp womp.
I know. I'll have to make it again. But Basil and Enid, as you are married, the rings are not magical, but love in an essence is. You both gain a buff.
Ooh.
Within 60 feet of each other, you have advantage on saving throws.
Wow. All saving throws?
Oh my
Wow. Everyone should get married, guys.
Gideon, you want to get married?
Someday, yes.
Is this another item we can
Like-
add, or is it something we
Permanent,
can just-
or is it a one-time thing?
Unless you guys get divorced.
No,
Yeah, it's
we're together forever, baby.
Or widowed, which I think is more likely.
Oh, yeah,
Stop it.
Wow.
We're not doing that. We're not
Wow.
doing
Actually,
that.
I'm gonna retcon a little bit. It's not gonna be. It's 30 feet. 60 feet is kind of ridiculous.
I was
What
like,
am
that's
thinking
not-
about?
That is
30
pretty.
feet is fine.
Listen,
cool.
that gives a bigger reason to just stay next to each other.
stay near each other.
Yeah.
Never leave.
Because Lord knows, Basil's always stressed the fuck out.
So, hold on. Okay. As we move forward in the night, the reception is had. Food and drinks, a party of sorts. Those who work within the keep and all of those who were invited, and also the small amount of townsfolk that are
Aw.
down beneath the keep at this point. During the reception, as is tradition, people start to give speeches. And first on that list is Yursa. As she stands in front of everyone, as the two of you sit at your table and look over the ocean, you see Yursa ahead, kind of gathering everyone. Yursa, go ahead.
Yeah, so I guess this is the part where everybody has like a little drink and they're like doing little toasty toasts. Yours has just water in it. But she raises it up anyway and she says, traditionally where I'm from, and maybe it's the same here, but a lot of times when people give a speech for a wedding or two souls coming together, we're supposed to give a piece of advice to take with you, to build a home with, to build a life together with. And this night is not about me, so I'll keep this very, very short, because I think it is about the love between Basil and Enid. So if I was to give you one piece of advice, it would be to thrive in the storm, for it nourishes the soul. Love is messy, and life is very chaotic. But it is that chaos and the storm
that batters us that makes us stronger. And I think it was said already tonight, but you two have lived through some very terrible storms, and you've come out so much stronger on the other side. That rain has fed your souls so much, and you are so much stronger for it. And your roots are so intertwined with each other. So no matter how hard things get, know that tomorrow the sun is going to shine still. And you're going to be there for each other always. And I love you both very, very much. Yay! And she like raises her little glass. And then she'll sit
Basil would
down.
have gone over to like
Yeah.
hug
Oh yeah,
her.
we stand and give hugs.
Hugs and then sitting
Hug
down.
back.
Ugh.
She'll hugs and give little kisses,
Yes.
and then she'll sit
Hugs,
back down.
kisses.
Hugs and kisses.
But she knows that Rid has some words, so she'll sit back down.
Okay, as you sit down, next to stand up is Gak.
Oh man.
Hey, hi. Hello, everybody. I'm Gak.
Hi, Gak.
Hi, Gak.
Hi. Basil and Enid. You're both like sisters to me. And one of you is even my official sister, according to laws. Which kind of means like this is two of my sisters are getting married. You're my sister wives. Before I left my home, I had one idea about what people being married are like. It turns out that I was very lucky because marriage doesn't always work. People get married for gold, people get married for power, but you are getting married for love, and that's the right one. You guys did it right. And your love does not stop between you two. It squeezes out of the cracks and it flows everywhere, and everyone can see that you love each other. But our group knows that you love each other. It's not just seeing it, we feel it. This is the type of love that works. And I couldn't be happier for you. Now, although I am very surprised that you are the first people in this group to get married.
And Gak pauses for a long time. And he just kind of like looks over everybody.
I couldn't be happier that you are together now through the law, which I think this means that Basil is also my sister through the laws now.
Why does it sound like he's being held at gunpoint just to get this speech out?
So, let us raise our spicy milk or whatever else you have to Basil and Enid, my two sister wives.
Thank
Yeah,
Here,
can we get
here.
a big hug?
Thank
A
you.
kiss?
And Gak,
Oh my
Gak
God.
chugs his entire spicy milk and sits down. You see his hands are shaking.
Of course. Oh my god. Damn.
What's in his spicy milk again?
Some alcohol.
Isn't it just rum
We've
chata?
never
Isn't
figured-
that why he called it spicy milk?
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. But you can
It's
see
a white Russian.
he was very nervous, so he's shaking as he sits down.
Oh,
He's
sweet
petting
bean.
Chip.
Yeah,
He
Enid will
gets the
try and,
hugs.
yeah, rub his arms and say, "You did so good. Thank you."
Thank you. Thank you for being my sister wife.
Also, Gak, I'm not actually your sister legally, so
Not that
Sister-in-law.
we.
your sister in the laws.
That is true. There's a different connotation.
I
We
think
can talk
someone
about
else
it
is supposed
later.
to give a speech.
Okay, I'm just okay. Thank you, Gak.
I'm sorry.
As that comes to a conclusion, there is a little bit of silence after Gak's
Sister-wives.
speech.
I like it.
You slightly hear, Rian, you're kind of closer to Marathil. You just hear him go, "This was odd."
You watch your mouth, all right? That was
Oh
great.
damn!
Oh,
Damn.
Sorry.
All right.
He looks towards you, Rian, as you were kind of. It looked. He could tell you were about to pick up your drink and hit it as before he said that. It's like, go on.
All right. Yeah, Rian would stand. He'd do a little ding, 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 ding. Well, today we gathered for the celebration of a momentous occasion. The union of two extraordinary souls, Enid and Basil. I am not Basil or Enid's father by blood, but I care for both of them like they're my own. And now I stand before all of you filled with immense pride and joy. And I can see both of you are dressed to the heavens. Well, I know that Enid can conjure daggers at a whim. Don't be mistaken, Basil is also armed and dangerous. Razor blades in the hair, little known secret.
And that Glock.
Enid, when you first came into our lives, you were a reflection of the hardship that you had endured, much like myself. The journey was challenging, but we all forged unbreakable bonds. And in Basil, I found a spirit untouched by the world's cruelty. Even after everything you endured, a light that shone so brightly that no matter the darkness, you were still there. And to Basil, I ever since the first day we met in Hombefort, I felt this deep sense of protectiveness towards you. I wanted nothing more than for you to preserve that unyielding spirit. But Basil is not just a healer of body, believe me, she's mended many of my wounds, but also that of spirit. She is an endless font of love for all who know her, but especially for Enid. As time passed, I watched Enid heal piece by piece. This healing wasn't solely from the support of Yrsa, Gideon, Gak, or myself, but it was largely because of Basil. In each other's arms, they found solace, love, and the care they both desperately needed. They became each other's anchors, grounding each other in love and compassion. In a world filled with magic and dragons, it's hard not to believe in the concept of soulmates. But when I look to you two, I know that it's true. You both are the epitome of what it means to find your perfect match. A person who completes you in every single way. As you embark on this new chapter of your lives together, I offer you my heartfelt wishes. May your love be as persistent as the sweet wind in the mallow grove, and as kind as the trees that grow there. May you continue to nurture each other, to grow together, and to find joy in each other's company. And if I may offer one piece of advice to you two, continue to give yourself to others, because that's the ultimate satisfaction in life. And he'll look to Yrsa, to love. He'll look to Gak, to accept. He'll look to Gideon, to honor. And he'll look to you two, and to help others. To Enid and Basil, may your journey together be filled with love, laughter, and endless happiness. Much love and many wishes to both of you. Until, cheers.
Yo, cheers. I put it in the chat, but my heart is gooey. Yeah, definitely getting the hugs, getting the kisses. Can't run, can't hide. They're happening.
So, the reception continues. A party as all of you celebrate the joining of love between Basil and Enid. All of you knowing what's ahead, knowing the dangers you face, the trials and obstacles you will go through to save everyone, you get a chance to rest, relax, and enjoy each other's company. You get a chance to a little bit of normalcy. And all of you hope and pray that this night never ends. As you continue to laugh and sing and dance. That is where we are going to end tonight's session. Thank you so much for
Headcanon that Gak catches the bouquet, please.
Oh yes,
Like Gak needs to catch it.
I think if the bouquet was being thrown and Gak was there, he'd be like, "Oh."
I almost got hit with
throwing
that.
stuff.
Why'd you throw that at
flowers?
me?
I almost got hit with that. You got to be careful where you're tossing it.
Actual
It lands on the
canon.
ground.
Actual cannon.
When Basil and Enid have their first dance, Gideon does oh my gosh, I can't. He does twin telekinesis so they float in the air while they're dancing.
Oh, that's sweet.
That is really sweet.
Fantastic.
We will return back to Evrand next week, and I will be bringing down the mood. But for now,
we will not be back next week.
Not next week.
Yeah, because Kayla and I are closing and moving on that day.
That's right. We will be back.
Nick and I are
Rachel,
also
Nick
moving.
too.
Rachel,
Yeah, we're all moving.
Also,
Never
if you guys
mind.
can catch
We will be back here.
Tiffany's been doing Zoom.
I'll be here though.
She's been doing it past here, but she's been going so fast. But
All
I don't know
right.
if she's done now.
Also, thanks to Polka Dot Gaming for gifting a sub.
Yes, I was just
Oh,
saying,
thank
you so much.
you.
Glad you all enjoyed it. It was a wonderful session. Be sure to tune in on Saturday for the Isles of Iverion, next Tuesday for the Salamander Coast, which that will be the last streamed session for, I think, 3 weeks, probably, which I know is a bit of a duration. The rest of these sessions will be uploaded to YouTube. They'll be accessible there. I'll be recording them just in where Kayla and I are staying. I'm not going to have the ability to stream, but I will have it to upload. So be sure to tune in Saturday for Isles, Tuesday for Salamander Coast, and then the YouTube channel for the rest of the sessions for that time. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.